Hi there, my name is Bash. I know I love to talk about business investments all the time. So today I'll be talking about why your capital needs to be very crucial and very, very importantly to be considered, let me say, when you are setting up a business, right? You know, there's no way you can actually breathe, right, without your heart. So there's need for you to have adequate capital. Okay, no matter how little it is, provided it's adequate, it can actually do something for you, right? So when you're setting a business up, you need adequate capital for your business operation. The first thing that you need to know is that how much am I going to spend for my equipment? How much am I going to spend for my supplies? How much am I going to spend for my rent? Okay, how much am I going to spend for my settings? And if I'm going to hire someone, I'm going to employ someone, what's going to be the cost for the payroll, right? All these things are included in your capital because those are your set-up business plans, right? So business operation is very important, and adequate capital is very needed for you to have a good business operation running, especially when you are kicking into a business that it's actually new, or maybe the demand is very, very high, right? So it's very, very important for you. Capital, again, is very needed when you want to manage crisis, right? You need capital for you to be able to manage the downturn of the economy. When the economy is not going in your own favor, you might need more capital to inject into your fund or the pool of your money to be able to manage yourself, right? So the balance, the financial strength of your business won't weigh you down, because if you are running at loss, you still need capital as well, and management of that capital to be able to maintain your stability. Okay, you also need capital to be able to function on a day-to-day analysis or a day-to-day operations, right? So when you are running a business where you buy fuel every day, or maybe you buy water every day, or maybe there's a particular supply that you actually purchase every day, you need an adequate capital for that. That's like cash flow management, let me put it that way. So you need a cash flow to be running every day, or maybe you pay labels, like you pay for the labels, right? So you might need to have adequate capital for you to be able to sustain that payment for a while, or let me say to get your balance and stuff like that. Also, you also need capital for innovations, right? So modern companies that are actually startups tend to like invest more in technologies, right? When I mean technology, I'm not going too deep into technology because I'm not like a tech guy or something, but there's need for you to innovate. There's need for you to expand, right? There's need for you to grow. So in your expansion and growth, and for you to maintain your ground, right, as a business owner or someone who is actually wanting to maintain a ground in a business space where people look up to, like, oh yeah, they started 5 years ago, they started 10 years ago, but they've innovated in this, they've done that, they've done this and that. So the innovation as well must be input into your capital modeling, because it's very, very important for you. You need to have money for you to be able to expand, and your expansion can come from tech. You may want to go into websites, you may want to go into maybe robots or something, or automation something or something like that, that could help you to improve your sales and also improve your growth over the time. So capital is very, very important for you when you are trying to maintain your stability, because it's very crucial, right? You also need your capital to be able to work for you, or to work for the business. Let me put it this way. When you have a business running, let's say January 1st, 2025, down to 31st December 2025, and you prepare the account, the accountant make the preparation of the account and everything. Like, so when you have your profit and loss account, where you have your sales and your revenue and your deductions and your expenses, the admin expenses, the operational expenses and everything. So your sales, when you have your sales deducted, right, by your expenses, you tend to have your gross profit. So when you have a gross profit, then you deduct the admin expenses and the operation expenses, the taxes, the finance costs, and all the other costs like that is associated to what drove the revenue. You tend to have your net profit. So your net profit is actually the money you say, okay, yes, this is my net amount of money that I've made in this business. So now, if you have loans, if you have borrowings, you might want to take from your net profit to pay those loans, or maybe you have an asset that you can actually sell off to pay those loans. So sales is not actually sales until you remove those deductions. You understand? So it is very, very key and very, very important for you to understand that capital is very, very key, and is the manpower of every business, right? So you might want to split your sales, maybe take 20% or 30% out of your net profit, and put it into maybe a capital market or more money market to be able to generate short-term returns for you, maybe in 3 months, in 6 months, 12 months, 9 months, and thereabout. And you can have like 20%, 30%, 25% at the end of the tenure of the investment. So there's need for you to also invest your capital for you when you have ups and downs, in the business, because it's very, very important. You just don't take your capital and use it to pay salaries, use it to pay expenses, use it to innovate and all that without investing capital from the business. So take part of your return or take part of your profits that you've made for the year and put it into the capital market or put it into the money market and see how it comes out for you, because it's definitely going to help you in a time where you need it. Thank you so much. My name is Bash. I know I'd love to talk about business and investment. See you next time in another time. I love you all.